Hey guys, it is time to show you the very late flowers. Oh, today is May 10th. It's like 90 degrees out and the flowers are trying to come. They're so late this year. As you can see, I've got lots of tulips that are still trying to come up. Daffodils are trying. A lot of these are new bulbs I planted last year, so they'll be first year blooming. This is an older tulips, but they're trying. Certain varieties are blooming now. Obviously the peach colored ones are going and the daffodils are trying to go. Definitely getting some blooms. So you guys, it's 90 degrees today and we have potential tonight for very severe weather. So bad, in fact, I'm told that some of the professional storm chasers are in Wisconsin predicting, they might see wall clouds and possible tornadoes. So that's not very exciting. All right, so you can see these are coming along nicely. I love the orange ones. Those are older. Those were planted a long time ago. But basically the newest flowers are the ones in between all the posts. So we'll keep going. And I planted these new. And behind that is my asparagus patch, which is just going crazy. Did some of those. Some of these were existing. And by existing, I mean I planted them within the last 10 years. Wanted to show you guys. These were planted 15 years ago and they're still coming. These tulips are usually up pretty quick. My garlic is going crazy. That's all garlic. Of course, we have the oriental lilies, and then these are newer and they're doing pretty good. As you can see, the storms knocked over my fence and I got a little windmill there, and we're supposed to have storms tonight, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. But these look really good. So we'll go back over and look at more flowers. My asparagus patch is in its second year. So it is all going crazy tall and going to be allowed to seed. The original existing asparagus is this in the middle here. And I could probably harvest it, but honestly, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just let it go this year. It was pretty stressed out. So we definitely got some of the rain moving some of this asparagus around. There's huge clumps of it. I'm gonna kind of let it do its thing. We'll see what ends up growing and what ends up not growing. I'm gonna have to weed this pretty soon. I added some composted soil, basically manure compost, this spring before anything came up to give it a little nutrition. All right, so definitely back to the flowers because those make me happy. It's my happy place. Gonna show you guys, these did really well and are coming up so nicely. Everything in between the posts I planted last year, and honestly the ones that are at the posts were planted several years ago and are just not doing that well. So some of them are doing better than others. Even some of the ones I planted last year didn't do great. Probably got eaten underground by ground squirrels or rotted, but they're trying. Little sketchy over here, didn't do as well. These are trying to come. I don't know, not sure how these are gonna do. But then we get into the old existing beds. You guys recognize some of the decor from the dollar store. Some of the stuff got knocked over by the storms again. Oh, and it doesn't want to stay up, guys. Okay, my little bee dude. There we go. So we're getting there. Some stuff got knocked over. Here's y'all, I just kind of threw out my fairy garden stuff. I really haven't had a chance to think about it. Probably need to add to it, but I don't know. Ooh, it's raining a little. So we have that. Then we have, this is just a bit of a disaster. So we have some daylilies, some oriental lilies, some iris coming. honeysuckle that I really pruned back heavy. And honestly, y'all, I did not think my grape hyacinth were going to give me any purple flowers. They are so late this year. They are at least 4 weeks late. The iris are coming. I did dig out and split out a lot of our iris from this bed. I will show you guys in a minute where that went. So look at that, y'all. So, all right. Then I just put out my hummingbird feeder. I've got some hostas coming here and daylilies. There's my hummingbird feeder. The birds are mad at me. There's the horses. That is a hosta. I split that out and planted it, I think, 3 years ago. So we've got some simple hostas here. I did try again. I had tulips planted here, and I think the chipmunks got into them. I replanted a few bulbs last year. Obviously they did pretty good because I've got a few coming. Got more hostas coming here. I've got daylilies and then more hosta back there. Tulips. Lots of tulips. Tulips' favorite flower. They're so just simplistic and beautiful. These are hydrangeas that are just waking up. Got a bird feeder. That's a sock for the finches. We'll go say hi to the horses and then I'll show you guys the wildflowers. Oh, we're getting ready for storms, y'all. Oops, sorry. Tripped over something. They all have had their dinner. They're in their sacrifice area, which is where we keep them, especially when it's getting ready to storm. They can get in their sheds. Girls are eating from their beautiful bales of hay we create here at the farm. You can hear the killdeer. So I have the cool curtains on the girls' shed. Those keep the heat out and the bugs out. So the girls can go in there when they want to cool off and get the bugs off them. Boys are back there. That shed got hit last December by straight line winds and ripped off its foundation and flipped over. My brother was able to come out and help me. I should say us, help us fix it. Definitely took a few people to get it fixed, but you can kind of see the newer wood on the front. We basically had to totally rip up and repair the front. The boys are in the back. They are eating out of, like I said, some of the hay we grow here on the farm, and you can see behind them is one of our hay fields. It's coming on really strong. That was where we had the cows for a week. My neighbor's cows came over, so that was where they were. And that is my compost pile. I periodically just lightly scrape up all their manure and their hay. You can actually see I am creating a new compost pile right there. And then this one I created last fall. It has totally marinated and cooked down over winter, and it's pretty near ready to be utilized. It's almost total black dirt. All right, so I did put I had some extra tulip bulbs, you guys. As you can see, I just kind of stuck them here. A couple of them didn't make it. We've got like a weird kind of empty spot. I got one here that is just not gonna make it, but honestly, I was surprised because I know right down here is a big old chipmunk hole. I am surprised these even came up, that it wasn't a dinner snack for the chipmunk family. This is a pasture, small one that the boys go on for grass. A couple acres, acre and a half maybe. Then we will, there's the riding arena. I've got a couple of old, oh you guys, old flower beds back here that are in rough shape. Honestly, there's not enough hours in the day, y'all, to do some of this, but this first bed on the corner is, well, there's a hosta on the end, and then it's iris, and I did dig out a whole bunch of these to thin out the iris. And I have two varieties. These iris were given to me by my neighbor, and you can see the different variations in here. I did not know when he gave them to me there was a mixture. So we've got some Japanese iris in here that are just beautiful. But I did dig out a bunch, you can kind of see. I did it really early in the year, so got an interesting variety that have come. This, you guys, the border is all rotting. I need to redo the border on this. I thought I dug up and split up a bunch of the iris, but clearly not enough. Bunch of daylilies. We've got a bunch of stuff coming back here that are going to be for the butterflies. It's just full of weeds. I started this spring, obviously, because I was also splitting. I got some Russian sage. Oh my gosh, the grass. Oh, and then y'all, these are a really fun variety of iris. And then this, along with the grass coming, are chives. And honestly, I need to just dig them out and replace them with new chives. There's chives. These are, so it smells really good. But I clearly have grass invading, and that's no surprise because that's a hayfield. Oh, hayfield. And then you guys, I wanted to show you some of the wildflowers. First of all, show you where I did dig up some of the daylilies and a lot of the iris, and I just threw them right here in the corner. Oh, because I didn't know where else to go with them, honestly. But I've done this the last couple years. You can kind of get a feel for them. There's a lily, some iris, and I've got them all kind of mixed in here. There's more lilies and stuff. And then, I don't know if you guys can see from here, but the bluebells are fully in bloom, which is, wow, like a month late. So you can kind of see them. Just a little right there. This is just a small patch of them. And honestly, the grass grows so tall so fast here. A lot of times you really can't see these bluebells that are in here. But there's a couple of them there. There's one or two. And there's more back, you guys, in the grass. But I have more. This is another, you can tell we compost a lot, you guys. Ton of compost. This compost has been composting for several years. I used it this year. It's amazing dirt. Behind it are my bluebells. One big grouping of it. And you guys remember when I told you I was cutting down lots of trees? Yeah, I was all in this woods here. But can you see the bluebells amongst the wild rose? There's a whole bunch of bluebells. So they go there. They've been actually finally spreading. There's some down here. First of all, there's some right here in front of me. There's a whole bunch down in here. And they actually finally have spread down into the woods pretty significantly. You can see a big patch of them. I'm really thrilled, you guys. It has taken 10 years to get these bluebells to take off. There's a big patch. And then it goes... trying to get it so you guys can see. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Okay. They're up in there, like right in there, and it goes way down. So I'm really, really tickled because, yeah, it's been a bit of a challenge, y'all. Got one more section. There's some right down after that tree. So that is good to see. Like I said, there's a bunch there. And then I do have another patch. Actually, I have a couple more patches of them. But this one up here is doing really well. And this tree I was really cutting on. This one got hit by the tornado. We still haven't fully cut this split down, but I made it easier. And look at all my bluebells coming up underneath it. Really, really happy. And then there's more right there. So that's wonderful. And I was cutting all through the woods here. You can kind of see where I stopped. So I do have some trillium I wanted to show you guys. The robins are not happy with me. So lots and lots of like just brush. I don't really care for it. It's a lot of honeysuckle, but it does provide places for birds to live, and rabbits and turkey, squirrels, lots of birds. But I did trim up a lot of the stuff that was knocked over or dead. I made a couple paths through the woods when I was out on the chainsaw. You can see one of them right here. It goes right through there. And then again, just did a lot of trimming stuff back because it was really starting to grow out and we're having trouble mowing. But down here we have a flowage where the water comes through, and you can see it's kind of a, so the previous owners long time ago, this is a really old farm, to help prevent erosion, so he owned a excavation company, and he would bring in rock and concrete to try to prevent major erosion. And it works really well, actually. Kind of ugly, but it has prevented like massive erosion in here because it really drops off. And we've added rock and stuff to it as well. And honestly, I dump all kinds of, well, that is pine needles, and we do, if we bags anything grass-wise, we just keep that in here because it all works to filter and slow down any erosion from heavy rains. So got a whole bunch of wildflowers down here. You can see the bluebells as you come around the corner. So this I really cut back a lot. Here's a whole bunch of bluebells, and then my trillium are in here, and then I've got dutchman's breeches in here as well, and wild oats. So the trillium and the wild oats are right next to each other. The trillium is the variegated with the red, and then the wild oats of the yellow flowers on them. So those there, and the dutchman's breeches are right there. They were blooming, they're about done. So we have a bunch of bluebells that are doing pretty good. So I'm trying to get more wildflowers in there. I don't know, you guys, honestly, it tends to be a losing battle when you really think about it, but there are more trillium back in there. I don't know if you guys can make it out, but if I use my finger, where is it? Right there. There's trillium in there. I did dig out and transplant more trillium. That's a slightly different type of trillium. Then I did put some daylilies in here, and then way back down in there I moved some of the trillium. So I've got some daylilies you can kind of see that are probably going to come up this year. And then over here I did also add daylilies. And they're doing really well. I mean, I transplanted them really early this year before they really came up. So like there's one, there's a couple there, some back in there, kind of just a bunch. And then you can see the drop off right there, hopefully. But I've got more wildflowers around, guys, but I just wanted to show you all. You guys were asking to see the horses and the weeds and my flowers. So I've mentioned it before, you guys, but we got hit by a tornado. I think it's been 8 years now. So You know, we had a lot of tree damage from tornadoes, the tornado that hit, and then unfortunately the emerald ash borer has come in and killed every single ash tree on the property, so we're having to take those down, which is really, really sad because we had some just gigantic, beautiful, beautiful mature ash trees that died. So all right, y'all, thanks so much for joining me. I will see you all on my next video. Bye, everybody.